I'm wrapping up this letter that I wrote you. Maybe it's the only way to go through. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. Though it hurts, I only wish you blessings. When intuition talks, you gotta listen. I won't lose myself for anybody. I'm not sorry. Yeah. 'Cause you build me up to break me down. Never respect the love you found. And I had a voice inside the back of my mind. I always knew it deep down. You don't deserve me, babe, I won't lie. Got no more tears to cry. Oh, no looking back this time. 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 Running from the truth was getting reckless. In your arms I never felt protected. Oh.
Yes, yes. How are we all doing tonight? I had the show booked in yesterday, but it got really late on Don's show. So I moved it to today, and then I realised it was 9 o'clock, and I wanted to spend a bit of time with the wife watching some TV, so I moved it a bit earlier. Apologies. Hope you are all well. Liverpool is shit still, and it'll continue to be like that, I think. I'm going to do a match review, match preview of the West Ham game, so we can have a laugh at that. And then I wanted to bring up some news, and I also wanted to basically cover a little bit about statistically why we are so off in games, mainly around running stats, pressing numbers, pressures, like so many different areas on the pitch that I wanted to cover, which I found quite interesting. So we can look at that. We can probably have another look at managers, any managers that you're interested in, some of the news, any team news, stuff like that. But we'll chop it up for an hour, maybe a little bit longer, but probably just an hour. What I will ask though, please, everybody, if you can please hit the like button now that you're in here, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I'm really close to 2,000. if you do subscribe, please let me know in the chat, and we can welcome you to the fold. I'd really appreciate that. Still growing the channel, still trying to get there. It's been a long time that I've been sat on 1,900 and something. So to get to 2,000 would be a great milestone, and that was always my plan by the end of the year. So if you're not a subscriber, I would really like it if you would subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much. Okay. So, what's that in the chat? Many of your past arguments throughout all the streams I've seen you participate are invalid. Are valid. Thank you, mate. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that, mate. Look, at the end of the day, I just want the best for my football club. Like, last season was just insane. It was so good. We were all riding on the crest of us winning the league. Nobody thought we could do it. But it's been an absolute disaster. Like, since the start of the year, if you ask me, it's been progressively going downhill. If we'd have started the form that we took from 2025 in October the year before, we wouldn't have won the league. And I actually believe that if Arsenal hadn't have kept on losing games or drawing games when we dropped points, because we dropped loads of points in 2025, then there's a good chance it could have been a lot tighter. There's a good chance it could have been a lot tighter. But look, okay, I'll bring this up now because I talked about this on Donny Sam's channel yesterday. So if you weren't there, then you didn't hear this, but I'll repeat it now. So there was an interview on TalkSport, which isn't a great channel, but I do like some of the pundits on there, especially Danny Murphy. Bit of a hero for me. Did a number on Manchester United a number of times, and he will always be remembered for that. And he said he had the greatest season of his life at Liverpool. Yeah, he got a new contract at the end of the year, and he was on a massive high. Yeah, and he was loving life. Went away, had a fantastic time on his holidays, new contract, bounced into pre-season, thought he was going to absolutely swim the league, like thought he was a guaranteed starter. Yeah, walked into the pre-season, and he stunk up pre-season for about 4 games. But he didn't know. He didn't think he was bad because he was still on such a big high from the season before. Gerard Houllier pulled him aside, he said, and Gerard Houllier said to him, Danny, you can't forget what got you here in the first place. All your hard work last season got you where you are now. He goes, if you continue like you are, I'm going to drop you out of the team. And Danny was like, whoa, where did that come from? And I said this on Don's show last night. Has anyone spoken to Arne Slot this season? Has anybody spoken to him in pre-season? Did anybody have that conversation with him? Arnie, you fucked off on holiday. 5 games still to go in the Premier League, and you were on your holidays, partying in Ibiza and Dubai and wherever. Yeah, everybody knew it. The whole team switched off and buggered off partying. Yeah. Did anyone grip him and go, Arnie, don't forget how much hard work you put in to get where you are now as a Premier League champion, defending the champion again. Don't forget what got you here. Has anybody said that to him? Has anybody said that to the players? Has anybody turned around and said to the players, look, lads, Where you were last season, what you did last season got you where you are now. You go again. The hard work starts again. It doesn't get easier because now you're the defending champions. Now the opposition are going to try harder to beat you. You're not an unknown quantity anymore, Arnie. You're a Premier League champion. You're a Premier League winning manager. You have to be on your game this season. And I don't think anyone did. I don't think anyone's gone in and said, look, Arnie, you have to work harder now. And I don't think anybody has. And I don't think Arnie has. I don't think Arnie said to the players, you have to work doubly hard now, lads. This is when the hard work starts. You're my team now. I don't think he's got that personality. I don't think he's that type of guy. And there was an interview I seen with Miguel Delaney, who's a Sky Sports reporter. And he said he spoke to a guy that wrote a book on Arne Slot in Holland, a reporter in Holland who wrote a book on him. He has never experienced anything like he is experiencing right now at Liverpool. Never. Never experienced the adversity of being down in the dumps, on a downward spiral, losing game after game after game. He's never experienced it. So this for him is shell shock. This for him is an experience that he's never been able to deal with because he's never dealt with it. And that's where I'm sat here now, thinking nothing's going to change. Nothing's changing. We're getting worse. Two of our worst defeats this season have been against two of the worst teams this season. Nottingham Forest were 19th. They're relegation fodder. PSV got beat 7-1 by Arsenal last season at their ground. And they pumped us 4-1 at our ground. It gets worse. We now travel to London where we haven't won a game in 2025 in London. We haven't won a Premier League game in London in 2025. We are dog shit. Absolute dog shit under Arne Slot. And it isn't going to get any better. It isn't going to get any better. I haven't got any green shoots or anything that I can give you which is going to make you feel any better about it. There really isn't. I can give you some news. I can tell you that there's been leaked reports from Austria that Liverpool are probably going to contact Oliver Glasner. That looks like that could happen. Oliver Glasner could be contacted by Liverpool very shortly. The short list for managers is a short list because Liverpool were not looking at managers. There was no inclination that Arne Slot was going to fucking decide not to turn up for work in 2025. There was no inclination that we were going to just go off a cliff and every single player was going to do that. There was no inclination that was ever going to happen. So the list we were never looking at. There might have been a list there, but we certainly weren't looking at it. And now, this is where we are. This is the conversations now. It's now, okay, well, Jurgen Klopp's 2-1. Jurgen Klopp is never coming back to Liverpool. He's not coming back to Liverpool, I'm sorry. I know we all want it. Loads of people want it, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. FSG are not going to get a guy in who wanted so much control that he ended up leaving the club because he couldn't have as much control as he wanted. And now he basically controls the Red Bull group. He goes all around the world on holiday, just Grand Prix, wherever. He's literally the face of Red Bull. Like, he's not coming back to Liverpool. We need a guy that can come in and deal with adversity. We need a guy that can come in and turn a ship around which is about to hit a fucking iceberg. Like, we need someone who can bail a ton of water out of the bow because we're sinking. That's what we need. We need someone who can come in and give the players some belief. Arnie can't do it. Arnie can't do it. And Arnie's not the guy that's going to win you a cup either. Because you look at the cup competitions we played in. We failed at Newcastle in the cup final. We failed at PSV away, PSG at home. So he's not a cup-winning manager for us either. He can't give the motivation that we need. How is he going to do it? How is he going to give them the motivation to get themselves out of this rut of losing, 9 games in 12 in all competitions? Like, how? Also, massive thanks, Daryl, for the memberships. Thank you so much for the memberships, Daryl. Your generosity keeps this channel alive, mate. Your generosity will get me a better camera. Thanks, Daryl. And also, now we've got a load of members as well there, which is amazing. Thanks, Daryl. Big wins there. Thanks, Daryl. Slot loves the party. Certainly does. Slot just wants to listen to EDM. And that's where I am. That's where I am. And the interesting thing is, like, you talk about Gerrard. You listen to the comments from Steven Gerrard. Connoisseur, big up. You listen to the comments from Steven Gerrard after the PSV game. He goes, he's in the studio, by the way, at Anfield on TNT. And he turned around and said, Liverpool finished the game with Milos Kerkez, Virgil van Dijk, Ryan Gravenberch and Curtis Jones as the back four. Steven Gerrard said, that's not Liverpool. That's not Liverpool. Like, that is not Liverpool. Liverpool do not finish the game with 2 midfielders in your defence. Like, when you have Joe Gomez on the bench, you have Wataru Endo on the bench. Like, Wataru Endo has played more games in defence than he has in midfield, by the way. Go and check it out. Wataru Endo is your warrior. Wataru Endo is the guy that Jurgen Klopp threw into the battle when Fabinho and Henderson fell off a cliff. He was the guy that he went, you know what? We have major problems with the midfield because no one's good at defending. I'm going to throw Wataru Endo in there. And guess what it did? It helped the team. It helped us. Arne Slot's never used him. Never used him. Joe Gomez. Joe Gomez had the best partnership with any other defender at Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk. He's also probably the best left back I've seen at Liverpool in the last couple of years when he had that unbelievable season as a left back. He can also play right back pretty good. Joe Gomez and Wataru Endo have not been injured any time this season. None of them have had any injuries. They've been fully fit all season. And you can sit there and say, oh, Gomez has been getting an injection. He still had to go through a fitness test to get onto the bench. You still had to put him through a fitness test for him to be on the bench. Mate, you can say Endo's crap, but how crap are we? How crap are we? Right now, McAllister isn't even tying Endo's shoelaces right now for me because I want a guy that's going to get a yellow card. I want a guy that's going to go through someone that's going to tackle him so hard in the first 5 minutes that he goes, ooh, I'm not interested in this game. I don't fancy this game now. that guy's going to take me out. Like I'm going to get injured because he's going to take me out. We don't have any players with any snarl anymore. Curtis Jones couldn't have summed it up any better at the end of the PSV game when he said, we just want a guy to just go through someone, just put a tackle in, smash someone. That's what Curtis Jones said. I'm not being funny, Curtis, though. You could have done that yourself, mate. You really could have done that yourself. But I'm not blaming you for how bad we've been. I'm not blaming you for how bad we've been. I'm blaming the bald fraud. Anyway, that's my little update there. So, have I got any more news for you? So let me have a look. Got some more bits here. It's quite depressing, but I've got some more bits for you. So right now, we've conceded more goals than any other team in the Premier League. So we've conceded 34 goals now, which is one more than Wolves. So we are right now the worst team in the Premier League for goals conceded. Just putting it out there. Just it's there for you, okay? It's there for you. All right. So that's how bad we are. I'm not sure why they've got Mo Salah's face there, because what's Mo Salah got to do with goals conceded? I find that really stupid. I find a lot of things stupid right now about the media with Liverpool. I also want to bring this up because I thought this was really interesting. November the 27th, Konate posted a message on X talking about the difficult moments. November the 28th, Real Madrid informed Liverpool they have no interest on Konate by using David Ornstein and Fabrizio Romano as their media voices. I find that really interesting that the day before Real Madrid basically say they don't want a guy for nothing, he puts out a post saying difficult moments. He has been absolutely atrocious this season. But I can't put all the blame on Konate. I can't put all the blame on Konate because there are so many games where Konate doesn't even have a right back next to him. He doesn't even have a defensive midfielder stood in front of him. Like, Konate's supposed to have some kind of shield in Ryan Gravenberch. He's not been there all season. He's supposed to have some kind of right back in, whether it's Conor Bradley, whether it's Dominic Szoboszlai, whether it's Curtis Jones. Like, we can't even say Frimpong because he's not played. Like, he's had no right back cover at all. And you can also talk about the fact, well, Mo Salah doesn't do any defending, so what is the right back supposed to do? Well, it'd be great if the right back just stayed still then. Like, he doesn't have to be up front. Like, you don't have to have your right back in the attack. So Konate's been bad. I get it. I totally get it. But my God, he's been left and hung out to dry consistently for probably about 3 years, if I'm completely honest. Like, Konate's been overused in many, many games, expecting to do way too many things. It's not all down on him. You can't put all the blame on him. You just can't. And you're already starting to see how bad a defender can struggle when he hasn't got any defensive cover from the midfield and no defensive cover from his left back. Virgil van Dijk has fell off a cliff because Kirkez has been played repeatedly and he's not good enough defensively. And McAllister has been played in front of him. And McAllister has done no defending for Virgil, no shield. So you look at Konate for the form, and you look at Virgil. Konate's been dealing with that for years. And there's only certain games where he's looked bad. Virgil's only started dealing with what Konate's had recently, and look how bad he's looked. It's about systems. It's about formations. It's about players backing each other up. It's about players being in zones and positions that help the other team, the other team members. This isn't Liverpool anymore. This isn't how Liverpool have played for the last 10 years. This is how Arne Slot wants to play. And it's just a mess. Doesn't work, won't work, and it will get him the sack ultimately. And this was the media piece that I wanted to cover. According to Sky Sports Austria's senior journalist Mark Janko, Liverpool are planning to contact Oliver Glasner. Perhaps Oliver Glasner should turn on his phone because I imagine he may receive a call very soon. Oliver Glasner is Liverpool's next target as potential manager. And quite frankly, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with a guy that's more fucking defensive right now because we have never looked at being defensive for quite a long time. We've been way too gung-ho, conceding way too many goals for a number of years. I would like for us to have some kind of stability in the back line. Glasner plays 3 at the back. That works for Liverpool right now. 3 at the back works perfectly for Liverpool because we can use the wing backs in the midfield. We could use Kerkez and you could use Dominic Szoboszlai or Bradley or Frimpong perfectly on the right hand side. That gives you coverage. That gives you cover. And I wanted to bring this up as well because I found this quite interesting. Sorry, just crashed. So I wanted to bring this up as well. Replace. So this happened today. This isn't Liverpool's malaise right now. Doesn't seem to be just in the main team. It also looks like it's actually in the rest of the teams. Liverpool was smashed 7-0. The under-18s were smashed 7-0 today by Manchester United. Like, it's all over the park. Like, maybe Arne Slot's system is being used in the other teams, and we're just arse everywhere. But yeah, we got beat 7-0 by Manchester United today, the under-18s. That is pathetic. That is absolutely pathetic. Like, losing is in our DNA this season. And I wanted to bring this up one more time. Does anybody think that signing all those players is the reason why we're 13th in the Premier League and we've lost 50% of our games in 2025 season? Just a yes or no. Does anyone think that signing all those players is the reason why we're there? Is that the reason why we've lost 50% of our games this season? We've either won or we've either drawn. We're 13th in the Premier League with 18 points. Is that the reason why? Because we signed all those players? No. 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 Poor management. No. No, it's a witchcraft curse. I'm starting to think that he used a witchcraft curse last season to win the league, mate. Also, the players being lazy. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about that. I think that's a really good point that I actually want to bring up. So let me just get rid of this for a sec. So I was thinking about this. I was thinking about, why are we so far off it? Like, why do we look like we are 5 yards away from every player all the time on the pitch, and teams just pass the ball around us? And I was thinking about it, like, why is that the case? Slot brought in too many signings. We ended up with the Dutch Sooners. Ooh, I don't believe that though, because Sunderland are now 4th in the league, and they signed 14 players, mate. I'm sorry, like I'm not seeing it. Yeah, we've ran 6k less in both games, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Okay, I wanted to talk about this. Okay, so think of it like this, yeah. Last season there was 2 things that happened at Liverpool that helped us win the league. Yeah. The first one was we had less injuries. Okay. So we had less injuries, which meant that we had more players available, which meant that when the other teams had their injuries, like Manchester City and Arsenal, we didn't have an injury crisis. So we always had our team available. There's a flip side to that. Why did we always have our team available? Because the training wasn't as intense as it was under Jurgen. And we know this. We know this because some of the team were given different training regimes and training days than the others. And we know because we were told that they'd split sessions up. And it wasn't a case of you had to run the hardest, you had to do this, you had to do that. It wasn't like that. It was like it was monitoring you until you were at a certain point, and then you were left alone. Think about it like this, yeah. If you suddenly stopped the injury crisis because of the intensity of playing in training, then you've stopped the intensity in training. So that intense training and you playing full throttle in training makes you fitter. If you do a whole year of not doing the maximum amount, yeah, on your body, and you also completely switch off for the last 5 games, which was like 2 months, by the way. So we went 2 months with not really doing training because Arnie came out and said, I can't be expected to do training with my players now that we've won the league. He said this in a press conference. So you've got 2 months of really low level training. Yeah. Then you've got 2 months off because the last couple of games they just switched off and then they went on holiday. Yeah. And then they come back to pre-season, and the pre-season training will be just like the season before, which isn't an intense. What do you expect? I'm expecting a team to be less fitter. I'm expecting a team to not be as sharp as they used to be. So I'm expecting our team to be less physical, less mentality, less intense, not being able to start a game fast, not being able to keep up with the team. Players to be lagging in fitness, not being able to run hard enough. And that was the sacrifice we took to not get injuries. But the problem is, this season we are now starting to get muscle injuries, because the players are still having to run hard because they're not in games anymore. They're losing games. So they're having to run faster. They're having to actually do more physical because they're behind all the time, because they're losing now. And that's when we start seeing hamstrings. We've had more hamstrings this season, more players out with hamstrings this season than we did last season. Think about it like that. Think about it like that, because I thought about that and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Like, we sacrificed the intensity last year so we didn't get injuries and we won the league. This season, we're nowhere near it. Like, people are writing in the chat, we're 6K behind teams in running numbers. And we are. And we are. And we are way off with challenges. We are way off with duels. Like, we are way behind in huge quantities of numbers against anybody across the board. This isn't just a oh, we're not scoring the XG. This is, we're not even tackling the players. Like, we're not even running with them. We're not even tracking the runners. Like, they're better than us all over the park. Like, PSV made us look like it was men versus boys. It was men versus boys. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. They were going for 5. They were going for 6. Like, shocking. And we genuinely have seen some of the training pictures, and it does look like they're just laughing and joking all the time. Like, we stopped doing weights. The weights ended. Like, we stopped the weights thing. Like, that was one of the things that stopped. The cardio thing stopped. The lactate test stopped. We started doing medicine balls, like playing with medicine balls and tennis balls in training. Like, there's a lot of stuff which does make me question, is this a major factor, as well as all the other things, that's got us into the situation that we're in, where we're just not serious enough. And we can't switch this back on. This isn't a case of just switching, just turning a switch on, moving a player into a certain position. This seems like this is way off. Like, it's never going to be able to be switched back on, to be fixed. So there's a couple of things I wanted to show you as well. There's this one, which is just, I mean, it just gets worse. So according to Opta, an FMD simulator, which is, it's got all 108 teams from the Champions League. Liverpool are now on target to finish outside of 8th place. So Liverpool aren't favourites to finish in the top 8 of the Champions League, which means we will then have to go into the playoffs. So Liverpool aren't, like, so this is the numbers here. Liverpool are 72% to finish 9th, 98% to finish 10th, 100% to finish 11th, blah, blah, blah. So we're not touted to finish, like, in the top 8 now of the Champions League group, because of the games we've lost and the games we've still got. By the way, we've got Marseille, which is De Zerbi's team, which beat Newcastle. We've also got Inter Milan away, and then we've got Karabag at home. I mean, we should be Karabag at home, like, but that doesn't mean we're going to qualify, because if we lose the other 2 games, then other teams will win their games, which means then they'll take our position. So I just want to put it out there that if we don't finish in the top 8, we have to play a playoff game. And that could be against anybody, including Arsenal or PSG. That is not guaranteed. Everybody saying the Champions League is guaranteed is talking out their ass. Sorry. Completely talking out your ass. It's just not. And also, I want to bring this one up as well because Xabi Alonso and Vinny Jr. hugged each other after the last game. So it looks like the feud between them has been sorted. Xabi Alonso's not coming to Liverpool. Okay, so anyone who thinks that he is, give your head a wobble because he's just not. All right. I also want to bring this up as well because there's a lot of rumours about Real Madrid looking at Dominic Szoboszlai because Dominic Szoboszlai's got 2 years left on his contract and he's our 12th highest paid player. So don't be surprised if he leaves Liverpool. If we carry on the way we are, he is not going to stay at Liverpool. I'm telling you, he's not going to sign a new deal at Liverpool if we continue the way we are. Because Arne Slot's solution right now is to ask Dominic Szoboszlai to do more. That's it. That is Arne Slot's tactics. Like, second half, throw all my strikers up front. Yeah, throw everybody up front and sacrifice the defence. That's the tactics in the second half. And then pre-match, ask Dominic Szoboszlai to do more. By the way, mate, you're already doing 3 persons jobs. Can you do 4? Can you do 4 as well? Can you cover for Mo as well? Can you cover for McAllister because he's been dog shit? Can you cover for Gravenberch because he's been crap? Can you cover for Canarse because he's just a walking disaster? And can you also do the right back job as well? Because I can't seem to find one that I'm willing to put in a defensive position. Absolute madness. And I also want to bring this up as well because Arsenal right now are doing what we did last season. Arsenal are doing exactly what we did. They're top of the Champions League and they're top of the Premier League by a considerable amount. They are going to have a season like we did. But the only difference is they've got a manager that can keep them up there for a long time. Arteta falls away in the end, but this season they look like a different animal. They look like a different animal because that director of football has given them the players that they needed to support what they had already. And Eze has been something remarkable. Something remarkable, Eze. And guess who made him? Guess who made him as good as he is? Oliver Glasner. Okay, so there's a couple more things I wanted to bring up. Adam Clary did a video, and he talked about Liverpool. Yeah, talked about problems with Liverpool, and I want to bring up a couple of screenshots because I don't think this guy's getting enough pelters. Like, I think he needs to be talked about a lot more because he's a major problem at Liverpool, and it's the guy that stood by the referee, Ryan Gravenberch. He has been horrendous this season. He offers nothing. He offers nothing defensively. He offers nothing in midfield. Right now, Ryan Gravenberch might as well be a striker for Liverpool because he's got 3 goals and I think he's got 2 assists. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists. You might as well play Ryan Gravenberch in the number 9 position right now because he's doing absolutely nothing in midfield. He doesn't pass the ball well. All his passes are sideways or backwards. He's nowhere near the player. Again. Yet again, he's nowhere near the player. This is against PSV. Out of position, nowhere near the player. Didn't track the runner. we are where we are. Look at the space. Look at the space that the guy on the right-hand side's got. He could go left or right. I mean, he plays an unbelievable pass, by the way, that goes through Canate and around and catches Kirkes out. But Grav is absolutely useless this season. Like, for me, this is the Gravenberch that we had under Jurgen as the number 8. This is the Gravenberch we had under Jurgen as the number 8. He's not good. He's not good. He's lazy. He's not good. He's not good in possession. Can't pass the ball. You put him back into the defensive midfield role, you might get a tune out of him. But right now, he's being given some kind of weird free role where he can just do what he wants. He's an absolute liability right now, and Curtis Jones needs to come in, or Endo needs to come in, or even Dominic Szoboszlai. Play Dominic Szoboszlai there. And this is against Bournemouth. Hang on, I brought the wrong picture up. Let me bring the other picture up. And this is against Bournemouth. So this isn't something new. This isn't something new. This is against Nottingham Forest. Okay? This is against Nottingham Forest. And this is where our midfield are non-existent. If you look at the players that are behind Morgan Gibbs-White, that's our midfield. That's our midfield there. Like, they're all behind the player. None of them have tracked him. None of them have decided to... Like, McAllister, I don't know what McAllister's doing. Like, he's the other midfielder. But then you've got Dominic Szoboszlai, who's outside the penalty area. And then you've also got Ryan Gravenberch. I think that's Ryan Gravenberch, or it could be Canate. I think it could be Ryan Gravenberch because Canate probably got hooked because he always gets hooked, and then he puts Ryan Gravenberch there, who isn't a defender. So you're basically weakening your midfield by taking Gravenberch out of it, and then weakening your defence by putting a midfielder in your defence. Like, they're sackable offences, by the way. But this is Liverpool, just nowhere near the ball. Nobody near any of the players that are on the ball. And this has already happened a number of times. Like, if you just look at this situation, this was Bournemouth when they went for 2-2. You have 3 midfielders all behind their whole team. Like, you've got Dominic Szoboszlai, you've got Endo, and you've got, I'm not sure who the other, I think that could be Curtis Jones, all behind Semenyo, who can pick the ball up and run the whole length of the pitch. And this is how bad it was that Semenyo could have laid it off to 2 players. He could have laid the ball off to 2 players, but he took the shot himself. But he had 2 players that were stood there that he could have laid it off to, because look, Curtis Jones, Endo, all behind the ball. All behind the ball. And this has been a common theme all season. No midfield. No shield. So you've got Robbo, Virgil, and Canate all in a line. They could all hold hands next to each other. They're all way too close. But they didn't track, none of the midfield tracked the runners back because they haven't got the fitness. They're not fit enough. They're not fit enough to keep up with Bournemouth players. And this has happened all season. And you look at the tackles and interceptions in 2025, 2026. Liverpool are bottom of the table. Bottom of the table. Look at interceptions. Horrendous. This is by design. This is by design. This is what you sacrifice to have possession. If you want to keep the ball more than anybody else, yeah, then that means you have to you do less interceptions and you do less tackles because you want to keep the ball more. But you have to wake up. And we just haven't woken up this season. We haven't got whatever we're supposed to get. I don't know what it is. Whatever Arnie Slot wants us to do, I don't know what it is. I don't think the players know. We are so far behind. And this doesn't just continue with tackles and interceptions. This goes deeper. This goes with tackles won. Burnley, Bournemouth, and Newcastle are behind us. Look at the attacking third. Look at Bournemouth. 41 tackles won in the attacking third. We used to be like that. We used to win the ball high up. We don't do it no more. And then we got this one. Chances conceded from fouls. This one is wild. We are the number one team this season for conceding chances from fouls, which means we foul the other team too much and then we concede chances from it. 171 chances we've conceded. 17 chances we've conceded from fouls. We're the number one in the league. So look at Manchester City. Manchester City and Arsenal are the bottom two. And we're top. Everything about us is off. Everything about it is off. It's unacceptable. You're right. It's totally unacceptable. If you don't run, you can't play football. 100%. We could get relegated. You're right. We could. There's no reason. There's absolutely no reason why. And the biggest problem is there are more teams now scoring more goals. Last season, there was teams that just didn't score goals. Like it didn't matter. They didn't score enough goals for them to be a worry. But this season, there are more teams scoring goals. Leeds scored 2 goals against Manchester City today. If Leeds score 2 goals against us, we won't win. We won't be able to beat them because we don't score enough goals now. West Ham have scored 2 or more goals in the last 4 games. Like, teams are scoring more goals. Sunderland just beat Bournemouth 3-2. They scored 3 goals. We can't score 3 goals. Like, we're finding it really, really hard to score 2 goals. Last season, it was, you had to score 3 goals to beat Liverpool. Like, you had to score 3 goals. Otherwise, you couldn't beat Liverpool. We were that good. Now, you score 2 goals and Liverpool are done. Like, Liverpool are toast. You score 2 goals and you win games against Liverpool now. Last season it was 3. You needed 3. Now you only need 2. And if you score the first goal against Liverpool now, you win. You win the game if you score the first goal against Liverpool. And we concede the first goal too many times. Too many times. And this number is horrendous. 17 chances we've given from fouls, which are free kicks. We've conceded 9 set pieces this season. Well, I don't know how many we've conceded from that 17. And I also have to bring this up because I've talked about this before. Arnie binned these players, all right? We can sit here and say, oh, you know, Richard Hughes sold them. But Arnie binned them because he didn't play them. Like, he didn't play Tyler Morton. He didn't play Gerald Quansah, and he didn't play Ben Doak. He didn't play them. They never got a chance. Like, even when we won the league, we had 5 games left. He didn't play them. They never had a chance at Liverpool. Even Harvey Elliott now. You can look at Harvey Elliott. You can add that to the list. These guys never got a chance. Right now, Queven Gallagher looks better than Mamadashvili by a country mile. Right now, Queven Gallagher looks like a player that should have absolutely stayed at Liverpool and been given a chance. 100%. Tyler Morton looks like the defensive midfielder that we're crying for right now, and he's balling it at Lyon. Like, they've just won 6-0 in their last Champions League game. Tyler Morton's absolutely balling it in midfield for them. Gerald Quansah's just put in a heroic performance, which got a 2-0 win for Bayer Leverkusen at Manchester City. Like, we just got stuffed 3-0 there. Like, there are so many players that we got rid of because Arnie didn't want him, bin them, that I'm looking at going, God, you could really do with them off the bench. I mean, Mamadashvili, really? Are you going to hang your hat on that as your first team goalkeeper now? Queven Gallagher. Never seen him have a bad game. He was our player. Tyler Morton wasn't given a chance. And Gerald Quansah, like seriously? Like, do you think selling Gerald Quansah was a good idea now? Because I think it was one of the worst decisions. I think Tyler Morton was a really bad decision selling him now. We didn't buy any midfielders and we didn't buy any defenders to play in the first team. So I would have kept Morton and I would have kept Quansah. But Slot didn't want him. Slot didn't fancy them. That's the reason they left. And I'm going to do a match preview now, I think. Oh, I've got some funnies for you as well. Slot getting the sack before Amarin is really going to rattle me. Can you imagine? If Arnie gets the sack before Ruben Amarin? Seriously? That's crazy. That's just crazy. I've got a couple more funnies for you, just to cheer you up. This one. Since the interview, Liverpool have conceded 10 goals in 3 games, losing 3-0, 3-0 and 4-1. Do you think Rooney was right? What about this one? Klopp went 6 years unbeaten at Anfield. Meanwhile, we are 2-12 on aggregate at Anfield in the last month under Arnie Slot. Isn't that insane? And then these are some of the odds. Oliver Glasner 6-1. That's the name. That's the name. The name that I'm surprised isn't there. I am surprised that Xavi Hernandez isn't on that list. Like, Xavi Hernandez isn't at a club. Xavi Hernandez won the Spanish league before he left. Xavi Hernandez basically rebuilt Barcelona because they were a shambles. Like, they couldn't even afford to pay their players. Like, he came in to turmoil and turned it around and got the best out of some players and unearthed some absolute gems. Like, Lamine Yamal, he might not be the player he is now if it wasn't for Xavi Hernandez. Pedri might not have got the chance that he had. You know, there's a lot of players. Balde, there's a lot of players. Kubarski, Gavi, there's a lot of players in that team that were unearthed. Fermin Lopez, a lot that were unearthed by Xavi Hernandez. It's an interesting one. Xavi Hernandez and Thiago as your team. I don't know. I think the players will be listening if a Xavi Hernandez rocked up and told them. It would definitely help Florian Wirtz. What else have I got? Got any more funnies for you? I've got this one as well. This is crazy. Dominic Szoboszlai this year. Look at that. Szoboszlai. Assist, 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 a goal. Assist, 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 goal, assist, a goal. Like, 12 goal contributions from midfield already this season. He has been a machine. If it wasn't for him right now, I genuinely don't know where we'd be. I don't know where we'd be. Like, I just don't. Like, he's been so important to us. A bit like Steven Gerrard was when things weren't going well. And last funny I'll bring up. This shit might end up being a relegation battle match. Manchester United and Liverpool on the 2nd of May. Would you have ever thought that could be as big as it could be? That game. I'm not joking now. Like, if we keep this guy, who knows what that could be? That could be a game that sends the other team down. Crazy. All right, and so let's quickly do the let's do a match review quickly. Diaz 12 goals and 6 assists in 19 games for Bayern. Yeah, let's not talk about Diaz because look, Diaz wanted to leave and we didn't want to give him a £250,000 a week contract, just like we don't want to give Canate a £300,000 a week contract. It is what it is. Like, Luis Diaz doesn't fix Liverpool. Like, Mark Guehi doesn't fix Liverpool. Like, what fixes Liverpool is a new manager. Because it doesn't matter who you put in the team. It doesn't matter if you put Lamine Yamal in the team. Because you signed Alexander Isak and you signed Florian Wirtz and you put them in the team and nothing changes. You still concede shitloads of goals and you still don't create enough chances. It just doesn't help when you have a horrible setup that isn't fit for purpose in the Premier League. That's the problem. You've lost 18 games this season. You've lost 18 games in 2025. You've conceded 49 goals in all competitions. Like, you've conceded 34 goals in the Premier League already. Like, we're not even halfway through the season. It's crazy. It's a massive issue. The issue is the manager. And he's already come out and said, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. He's already come out and said in the last interview that we've worked so hard on this formation now that the players are used to it. Well, players are used to playing shit. The players are used to playing shit now. That's it. Oh, we're used to playing crap, so we're going to stay with it. That's it. Yeah, we're used to it now. We're used to being beat now, so we're just going to continue. There's only one thing that's going to happen, and it's the sack. It's the only thing that's going to happen, because nobody's ever been able to turn around something this bad. Nobody. Unless you're Pep Guardiola. Unless you're a guy that's won 4 Premier League titles in a row. Unless you're that guy. And you look what that guy's done. He's turned Manchester City into a different type of playing team. Like, they play direct football now. They play the long ball if they have to. They're now using Haaland as this bit of a battering ram type of player now. They changed their system because it wasn't working and they lost loads of games. Arnie hasn't got the credit in the bank. Arnie isn't good enough. We were fooled. And it's easy to be fooled. Because he came in after Jurgen and we didn't think anyone would be able to do better than Jurgen. We didn't think anyone would be able to win us a league title, but he did. And he may well have used the players more. He may well have just stuck with the same formation that Jurgen had. And like I said, there's an element of we stopped the intensity. We had fitter players, we had stronger players for that season. But this season, we don't anymore. And maybe we've suffered for it. Maybe we don't have the physical players anymore. Maybe they're not strong enough. Maybe they're not fast enough. Maybe they can't run as fast. Maybe they can't run as far. But we certainly need someone who can put them into some kind of situation where there's a chance of them being able to win in games. And they can't anymore. They go a goal down and their heads drop and they think it's over. And we start every game slow and we start every second half like we're not interested. Concentration levels are just whack. The only thing that's going to change is the manager, and that will happen soon. It will happen before the end of the year. I think they're already looking. I think they've already tried a couple of people. I think they've spoken to Nagelsmann. I think they're probably going to speak to Glasner next because Glasner's not renewing his contract, and they might be able to get him out of Crystal Palace early if they offer enough money. There's other managers as well. Like I said, Xavi's there, Mancini's there. There's other managers that are available. Zidane's there, but I don't think we go for Zidane. I'd like us to. And I said this, if we get the right manager in early enough, I still think there's a chance we could win the Champions League with the right manager because we have enough good players. We've still got a chance of winning the Champions League if we get the right guy, but it isn't going to be Arnie. No. Okay, so let's look at the preview. This is funny though, because this is probably going to have like numbers that are like Optic Computer thinks we're going to win and all this stuff, and it means jack shit, just like all the other games. By the way, there's over 100 of you in here. Please, please, please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribers, please subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm really close to 2,000 now. I really want to get to that number before the end of the year. So if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. If you do right now, I can actually see that you're doing it. So Come on, if I could get 5 subscribers, that would be great. There's over 100 of you in here. So please just hit the sub button. That would be wonderful. So let's get into this quickly. So the Opta supercomputer has Liverpool as a pre-match favourites. Victory rated at 49%. So our numbers have kind of dropped a bit from other games now because of how bad we've been. West Ham have taken just 6 points from their last 18 Premier League matches against the Reds. Alexander Isak has 5 goals and an assist in 5 appearances against the Hammers, but that was obviously for Newcastle. Returning to Anfield after a stretch of tough away games was supposed to provide some home comfort, but instead we lost 3-0 to Notts Forest and 4-1 to PSV. Last 5 Premier League games away in London. These are Liverpool's. We lost to Fulham. We lost to Chelsea. We lost to Palace. We lost to Chelsea again. And we lost to Brentford. Like I said, we have been atrocious away from Liverpool in London. Some of the other notably poor records of the class of 2025-26 are close to equaling, also stretch back to the 50s. My God, can it get any worse? Liverpool lost 3-0 against Manchester City and Forest in their previous 2 Premier League matches. They've not conceded 3+ goals in 3 consecutive games since 1955, when we were in the 2nd division. While they last lost 3 in a row by a margin of 3 goals was in December 1953. Who knows? We might be able to beat that record because we're going for records this season. That occurred during this last season in which Liverpool were relegated. Oh God, we're talking pre-Bill Shankly days. That's how bad it's got. Even the less alarming records still stretch back over 30 years, having only failed to score in one of their first 48 Premier League games under Arne Slot. Liverpool have now lost their last 2 by a 0 scoreline. They last lost more in a row without scoring back in September 1993. So we're going for that record as well. Brilliant. The Reds have conceded 20 goals in their 12 league games last season. It's the joint earliest into a Premier League campaign. They've conceded 20+ goals, matching a record from 1992-1993. I'm not going to talk about Diogo because it really boils my piss now. Having Conor Bradley and Frimpong out at the same time causes a problem at right back. Both out with hamstring injuries, by the way. Giovanni Leone's out as well, and also Alisson Becker and Florian Wirtz could all be missing as well. Played 12 games, 3 wins, 9 losses, 14 goals scored, 24 goals conceded since the 27th of September. My God. That is frightening. There would have been far easier times for Liverpool to be facing the Hammers too. When they were under Graham Potter, for starters, West Ham have won 7 points in their 3 Premier League games since November. Almost twice as many from their previous. They've also won their last 2 Premier League home games 3-1 and 3-2. Like I said, they've scored 3 goals. We can't even score 2 against Burnley, ending a dreadful run of 9 games without a win at the London Stadium. I also want to point this out as well. Nuno Espirito Santos has been a brilliant manager in the Premier League, apart from Tottenham. Like, he got Wolves into Europe twice. He got Wolves into Europe twice. Wolves are now on 2 points in the relegation. Like, they're bottom of the table with 2 points. And they've gone through 4 managers since he left. Like, people need to understand how good Nuno Espirito Santos is as a manager. He got Nottingham Forest into Europe last season. Like, if it wasn't just for the fact that they're Nottingham Forest and he didn't have a big enough squad, they may well have been into the Champions League. They may well have got into the Champions League. And we're about to play West Ham away, who got some good players. Probably better players than he had at Wolves and Nottingham Forest. So this is not going to be easy. This isn't an easy game at all. And he also beat Liverpool at Anfield last season, by the way. So there's further good news for Espirito Santos as Lucas Paqueta can return from suspension. Oh, great. And also Konstantinos Mavros and also Somerville. We all know about Somerville because he beat us at Anfield. He'll be available as well. Brilliant. West Ham's resurgence has been helped by Callum Wilson. Yep, Callum Wilson's going to be an absolute nightmare. He has had what is it? He scored 3 goals in the last 2 Premier League games. He's looking to score 3 in a row. That stat was also another stat, which was Morgan Gibbs-White, who then broke a record of scoring 3 in a row. That's going to happen, isn't it? That is so going to happen. He's going to score, isn't he? And it's also hilarious that he's an ex-Newcastle forward. Jesus Christ. You're so bad, honestly. There's no point even looking at last season's 5-0. There's just no point. So Supercomputer says Liverpool 49%, West Ham 26%, and this is the team. Areola as the West Ham goalkeeper. Kilman, Igor Julio is the reason why we haven't got Mark Guehi. Tobido, Paqueta, Fernandez, Basaka, Doof, Bowen, Lewis Gulmer and Callum Wilson. Liverpool, Mamadashvili, Sabozlai, because he'll be all right back, won't he? Of course he will. Canate, Virgil van Dijk, Milos Kerkez, it'll be Robbo. 100% it'll be Robbo. Curtis Jones, Gravenberch, McAllister, Salah, Gapco and Isaac. Yep, same shit. Same shit. Okay. Score predictions. Come on, I haven't got one new subscriber. Come on, I did ask. Like, a couple of new subscribers, please. Go on, hit the subscribe button. Come on, you frauds. Okay. Who thinks we'll get our first draw? Who thinks we'll get our first draw? Does anybody think we'll get our first 1 point tomorrow? Anybody? Does anybody think we'll win? 0-0. Oh my God, 3-1 loss. Bloody hell. 3-1 West Ham. Blimey. 3-0 West Ham. We lose. This is depressing, man. Isn't it? 4-1. Wow. At what point in time do the chat and anyone, including myself, understand the coach will not get fired in our time? I know, mate. I do think that it's probably 2 games. I do think it will be 2 games because I think it will get to a stage where if we lose the next 2 games, all right. So, okay. So let me bring up the Premier League table. Okay. So let me bring up the Premier League table. I'll bring up the Premier League table right now. Okay. So Jamrock, here's the Premier League table here. Okay, so this is the Premier League table right now. Yeah? Can you see? Yeah, you can see. Cool. Okay, so currently we're in 13th place. Everton is still ahead of us on goal difference, and Newcastle have now leapt up quite far because of their win. Hang on, is that right? Hang on, I don't think that's right. I thought Newcastle were ahead of us now. Hang on, is that table right? Standings. Yeah, that is right. No, it's not right. Hang on, that Premier League table's not right. 2 seconds. That's not right. Premier League standings. 2 seconds. It's not right. Okay. So the tables. This is the table. Can we see? Yeah, we can see. Okay. So if you look at the Premier League table, we are in 13th. Yeah. In the last 5 games, we've lost 4 and won 1 against Aston Villa. Yeah. Newcastle have now leapfrogged us because they beat Everton. Everton are below us. Yeah. Manchester United are playing tomorrow, I believe. Let me have a look. Manchester United have got Crystal Palace. Manchester United have got Crystal Palace at midday. We play at 2:00. Forest and Brighton is not going to make a difference because, Forest isn't going to make a difference because they're not going to catch us up. Fulham are winning now, which means they're going to stay where they are. So I think it'll be 2 games because if West Ham win, then they jump up to, 11, 12, 13, 14. They jump up to 14. Then you've got Fulham on 14. Then you've got Forest. If they win, they're at 12, 13, 14, 15. So they're all going to be around us. We'll be on 18 points still. So because we didn't win. And then the next game, we've got Sunderland. If we don't win the Sunderland game and the other teams win, then they will get, some will leapfrog us. Like Everton could leapfrog us. Manchester United could leapfrog us. Not Manchester United because they're already ahead of us. Everton could go ahead of us. Forest could go ahead. Fulham wouldn't, but we could then drop even further, which means we could then be around 15th. Liverpool in 15th place after playing 13, 14 games. Liverpool in 15th place after 14 games. I just don't think the board could look at that anymore. I don't think the board could look at that anymore and go, this is okay. And then you've also got the teams ahead of us. Like Newcastle are now picking up wins. Yeah, they're now winning games. So they're going to continue. Spurs might start falling below us, but we're not winning any games, so we're not going to overtake anyone. Bournemouth, they've been losing games recently, but they're still ahead of us. Brentford have been winning, so they're going to continue. Brighton have been winning, they're going to continue. Crystal Palace have been winning, they're going to continue. Aston Villa, it doesn't seem like even if we won games, we're going to actually go anywhere. Like, we could win games, but we're not going to get higher than 8th place. So, even if we win games, the other teams in those positions are all winning. Arsenal are winning, City are winning, Chelsea are winning, Sunderland are winning, Villa are winning, Palace are winning, Brighton are winning, Brentford have been winning, Newcastle have started winning. Nottingham Forest have started winning, so they're eventually going to catch us up. West Ham have started winning, they're eventually going to catch us up. So if we keep on losing, we're going to get lower and they're going to get further ahead. So it's not going to be a case of, we didn't win, but we still only need 3 points to overtake a couple of teams. the gap's going to get so much larger that it's not going to matter. It's just not going to matter. And I mean, we look at the games. We look at the games we've got coming up. Like we have. This is just so grim. Okay, so we have West Ham, who've won their last 2 games. Okay, so you've got West Ham who've won their last 2 games. Then we've got Sunderland, who've also won a lot of games, and they're in 4th place, so they're on a lot of form. Yeah. Then the teams around us, because that's what we need to look at. There's no point looking at Arsenal's and Man City's and Chelsea's anymore, because it's pointless. We need to be looking at the teams around us now. Well, the teams around us are the teams around us, for God's sake, are Newcastle. They've got Tottenham next. Well, Tottenham are terrible at the moment, so they probably get a win. Everton have got Bournemouth. Bournemouth have been losing all the time recently, so Everton could probably get a win. Fulham have got Man City. That's going to be a tough game, so maybe Fulham don't get anything out of that. And then we've got Sunderland, so we could lose that. The game after that, we've then got Leeds away. Okay, maybe we could get a win at Leeds. Yeah, at Leeds. But then you've got West Ham have got Brighton. They could be around us. Manchester United have got Wolves. They're going to be around us. They could beat Wolves. Newcastle have got Burnley. They could be around us. Tottenham have got Brentford. Like, there's nothing that's going to fix it but a new manager who can get a consistent amount of games won, because we need to win games. But we're now relying on the opposition to lose games for us to go any further. And then the game after Leeds is Brighton. And then the game after Brighton is Tottenham. And then the game after Tottenham is Wolves. Like, I wouldn't even say we're going to get a result against Wolves right now. It's just crazy. Like, just never been in a situation like this. Also, big up. There's like extra 5 subscribers. Appreciate it. Whoever subscribed. Really appreciate that. Thanks. Anyway, I want to do better shows, by the way. I want to do more fun shows. But I haven't got anything bloody fun to talk about right now with Liverpool. I'm sorry. Oh my God. So who's playing now? So Tottenham and Fulham are playing. Fulham are winning still, but Kudos has just scored, which means that could go right to the end. Anyway, I'm going to forward you on to another show, and I will see you all tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I might do a rabbit hole show tomorrow. Just look out. Keep your notifications on. But let me see who's live. Anfield Irishman's live, so I'll send you over to Anfield Irishman. All right, so go and jump in his channel and put KMack Raid. All right, and it's crazy. It's crazy right now. I will do another show next week where I will do a deeper dive into the stats. But I did cover a little bit today, but I will do a deeper dive into the stats. And we'll also look at more detail managers if we haven't made a change by then. But I think if we lose to West Ham, I think it could be done. I think that could be it. But we'll see. All right. Keep the faith. I'll see you all later. And by the way, if you haven't liked and subscribed, please do on the way out. Really appreciate it. I will see you all later.